lavoratrice per pianare al meglio il rettilineo di partenza e poi lanciare.
Welcome back to Riola Sardo for the fourth round of the EMX250 European Championship, where we are about to get underway with race 2, all 25 minutes plus 2 laps of it. Nudging towards that 30-degree mark again, as it was yesterday, this deep energy sapping sand circuit here of Riola Sardo on the island of Sardinia is really going to be another challenging race for the EMX250 riders. The racetrack just over 1,700 meters long. It's slightly downhill into a first turn, very tight, pretty much 180 over the foxhole shot line, turn 2, past pit lane, and then around the outside of that one. That's from the finish line, all that dark grey zone up into the top left corner. That's sector 1, sector 2, sector 3 and 4, back towards the finish line area. Rick Elzinga was your winner from race 1, and it was a Hutton Mattal Yamaha 1-2-3 with Andrea Bonacorsi and Dave Koike following the Dutchman home, which means Cornelius Toondel, his lead now 1-3-8. Rick Elzinga back in contention on 1-3-2, just 6 behind him, and then Håkan Osterhagen is back in third on 103. So it's going to be a real interesting race, because Cornelius Toondel arrived here 17 points clear of Elzinga. But Toondel, who was running in third, the last 5 laps, ended up in 7th place. Here's how the riders line up. Rick Elzinga on pole, ahead of his teammates, Dave Koike and Andrea Bonacorsi. Then we've got the teammates at Fantic, Håkan Osterhagen and Cornelius Toondel. Lucas Kuhnen, he was pretty impressive as well in the race, came home in 4th, just ran out of steam in the latter stages when he got caught by Andrea Bonacorsi. But Talviku goes to line 7th, Casvolt 8th, the 16-year-old, riding as a wild card for Fantic Factory Team Maddie. David Braceras, and then Quinton Prunier, Mike Guerra, Camden McClellan. I spoke to him briefly before they went out for their sighting laps, and he just said he knows he's quick enough, he just needs to believe in it a little bit more. So hopefully he can get a good start, but he didn't make a great one yesterday, a couple of mistakes, and was always playing catch-up, was McClellan, who eventually came home 13th in race 1. I also spoke to Rick Elzinga. I just said, was it comfortable yesterday? He said no, he actually rode very tight, probably thinking about the championship again already, so he just felt like really tight, wasn't riding as relaxed as he normally could, so he was hoping for better today, even though he won the first race yesterday. This guy, Andrea Bonacorsi, was on an absolute stormer yesterday, coming through the field from around about 10th on the opening lap, up and down in the first few laps, but by sort of the halfway point he really found his gear and his drive, and he just blasted into 2nd position and closed right on the rear wheel of Rick Elzinga, his teammate, pushing Dave Koike into 3rd on the final lap as well. 93, Lucas Kuhnen, the Jumbo Husqvarna BT Racing Team rider, giving it the big yes. Can he get it large in this second race? And the 172 of Casvolt, 125 championship leader, riding here as a wild card for the Fantic Factory Team Maddie clan. Look like we're almost ready to go. 1 or 2 last-minute adjustments. And 25 minutes plus 2 laps. EMX250 race 2. Elzinga just trying to get himself focused and fired up. Fly Racing, 15-second board up for the final time of the weekend then for EMX250. Once again, teams, managers, riders looking on from above to see the best place to start ahead of MX2 and MXGP races later on today. Gate about to drop here. Race 2 underway. Koonin gets a good start. The 93, but it's Guerda, just like it was yesterday in race 1. Everybody looks like they've got through there, no problems this time around. But it's Guerda who leads. Koonin up the inside of Elzinga second. And Koika, another good start. Or is it Bonacorsi actually? 35, Bonacorsi in third place. So the hard charger from race 1 yesterday already in third position. So another 10 places or so further up the track than he was at this stage of the race yesterday. Elzinga tries to go in, and he does make it stick. Not the fair. Well, actually, no, Bonacorsi just kept him back there. So Guerda it is who leads. Koonin second. Bonacorsi still third. Quick pull of the terrace for Elzinga. Jürgen Matthias Talvico in the orange helmet just behind the two Yamahas in fifth. Kaz Volk in sixth position. Seven, we've got Koika, Martinez, Osterhagen, Prunier, McClellan in 11th, Braceras 12, and then we've got Tone Dell in 13th, Spies, Tuani, Sturman, Dudon, Ludig, and Rossi. Rider down in the sand. Who was that? Was it? No, there's Volk. So Volk up on two wheels. Want to see who it was at the end of that straight that went down after the Monster Energy jump. Turn 10, just at the end of the second intermediate sector.
Commando.
Working their way towards the end of this opening lap. Lucas Koonin, second position, giving chase to Guerda. Very energetic riding style for the number 93. Runs it up the side of Guerda, takes over the lead at the end of the first lap. So the Jumbo Husqvarna BT rider leads the way. And Guerda already under attack and has been passed by Bonacorsi. So clear track for Bonacorsi, his teammate a couple of places behind. In fact, both of his teammates right there in the mix once again. In fact, 484, Koika has found his way past Elzinga. So maybe just riding a little bit tight again in the early stage of this race. The number 4, Rick Elzinga, over on the right-hand side, getting squeezed to the outside by his teammate. Elzinga responds though, does make the pass. Gets himself back into that 4th place. Guerda, the WZ Racing Team, KTM. In that 3rd place. Elzinga in blue, Huttermatal, Yamaha rider and his teammate leaving the door wide open, but he does respond immediately. No way back for Jürgen Matthias Talvico as they fight over 5th place. Monster riot going on over there in the background. You see all the ticker tape launched into the air. Good to have the fans back in and activities happening in the paddock. Two riders coming towards us bar to bar in this bottom corner now. Interested to see who that was. Well, Talvico has been passed by Volk. So Volk now up into 6th place. Normally rides the 125 European Championship, does Kaz Volk, so stepping up riding the 252-stroke machine in this EMX250 class. A little bit of power difference between them. There is Volk going after Dave Koika. Two laps complete. Volk homing in on the tall number 484. But it's Kühnen who leads. Bonacorsi by almost 4 seconds at the start of this lap. Guerda third. Elzinga in 4th place. There he is, second rider in shot. Then Koika, Volk, Talviku, Iago Martinez, Cornelius Tondel now up in the 9th place. David Braceras in 10th. Prunier 11, McClellan 12, Spies, Dudon, Lugano, Tuani and Rossi, Chibati, Barbalia and Vetic have all taken advantage of a fall from Ducey. The number 49, Mattia Ducey on the Suez 71 Yamaha. Kaz Volk in red. Tall 16-year-old from the Netherlands. The track's still a little bit chewed up from yesterday. It will only get worse as the day goes on for MX2 and MXGP. Tries to carve his way up the inside. Meanwhile, Elzinga. So Elzinga alongside Guerda, moving into 3rd place. Lap 3. Guerda doing his best to hang on to the WZ Racing KTM. Race 1, came home in 9th place. Here's how he did it. Mistake from Guerda. Tipped himself over the berm. Tried to get back on the gas, but Elzinga already alongside him at that point. So with a clear track, maybe Elzinga can start thinking about his teammate who's already out of turn 4. Fastest rider on track though. This is impressive stuff from Lucas Kühnen. Jumbo Husqvarna BT Racing just set the fastest lap out of these groups, not the fastest lap of the race. He's already done that at 56.1, but he's still occupying 56 territory, 1:56.8 last time around. Everyone behind him, 58s for Bonacorsi, Elzinga, a 2 minute for Guerda, not helped by that mistake, of course. 59s for Koika, Volk, Talviku, and Tondel, who is in 8th place now. He's got Quinton Prunier behind him as the championship leader at the start of this race. So it'd be nice to go back to that battle of 8th place. Cornelius Tondel with the red plate. And the Kawasaki behind him of Quinton Prunier. They're separated by about a second at the moment. Elzinga leads it by 1, though, as it stands right now. But Tondel, if he can get a bit of a lick on, he's got more riders ahead of him. And for him to hopefully maintain his grip on the championship leader's red plate. Elzinga with a win and a 3rd would take the overall as it stands. Bonacorsi 2 seconds would be 2nd. Kühnen a 4th and a 1st would be 3rd overall. So Kaz Volk coming towards us, then Talviku, and then just behind him now, just under the Bitchy banner, is Tondel. He set his fastest lap of the race last time around at 59.9. So he's got some ground to make up to these guys, but the red plate holder, not a good start in race 2, so giving himself a lot more work to do than he already had on his hands yesterday. Get him over the line this time around, Talviku and Tondel. Bottom left there, over the Foxhole shot line. Into turn 2, that is your red plate holder at the moment, Cornelius Tondel. Should be heading past pit lane and uphill into this turn any moment now. There's Talviku. And just behind him is Tondel. Coming into view now. There he is. Quinton Prunier just behind him. So these two fighting over 8th place. But as it stands at the moment, Rick Elzinga will go to the top of the championship once again by a point if it stays like this. So he's really got to dig in deep, has the big Norwegian. Can have a tough ass, though, keeping the 9mm energy drink Bud Racing Kawasaki rider behind him. Quinton Prunier, such a flamboyant style, such a joy to watch, especially on hard pack conditions. No stranger to sand either, though. Of course, they've got their Bud training camp down there, Hossegor, in France. Talviku, he'd take him for a ride, bucking around on that Sarkar Racing KTM 261. Prunier came home 5th in race 1 yesterday. So the rider 13th in the championship before we arrived here. Best result of the season so far. A couple of 8ths from the first couple of rounds. But Guerda getting caught by Kuika now. So these two fighting over 4th position with 15 minutes plus 2 to go. Bonacorsi and Elzinga in the opposite direction already. Speeds is up to 12th, Martinez down to 13th. So there's been a pass out on the track there. Guerda doing a good job of trying to hang on to that 4th place at the moment. Just losing the front end as he came into that turn 5 though. Wonder how much energy Dave Kuika spent yesterday as he got himself into the lead from 3rd place on lap 1, took over the lead on lap 6, remained there until the final 3 laps before his teammate came by him. Riders just trying to get out of those lines a little bit tighter, just to smoothen themselves out a little bit down that next little straight. But the racetrack like this, twisty, turning, nowhere to relax, because as soon as you get out of those corners, there's holes everywhere. Some people saying even tougher than Lommel in that respect. But for this time of year, middle of May, temperatures touching 30 degrees. This has been the first real test for the riders this weekend here in Sardegna. There's Casvolt. Talviku about 3 seconds further back. Tondel is gaining on Talviku though. There's Kuika. Goes around the outside of Guerda. Gets better drive. Committed to the outside in the penultimate corner. So Kuika up to 4th. There's Tondel and Prunier. You can see them just starting to reel in at the end of pit lane. The rider ahead of them, Jorgen Matthias Talviku, the gap just about a second now as they hit the line. Tondel needs his position to go 2 points clear, or to tie points at the top of the championship with Elzinga. Elzinga has 3-4 race wins so far this season. Tondel just 2. So if there is a tie at the end of this, Elzinga will take back the red plate. Couldn't be any closer, could it? Just under 12 minutes plus 2. Tondel looks the more relaxed out of these two, just using that momentum just to get over those big, large holes. Then he cuts out to the outside. Got to be careful that the door isn't left too far open there. But Prunier wasn't. Oh, they almost touch as they swap lines. But he does go through in the end. There's Cornelius Tondel. A vital position, a vital point gained for the Fantic Factory team, Maddie Ryder. So Tondel now up into 7th place. And Prunier looking to find a way past the Estonian as well. Oh, neatly done there, Quentin. Out of there early. What options has he got here in the final corner, though? Again, he tries to cut back to the inside. So 7 laps gone. Lucas Kuhnen now just 3 seconds clear of Bonacorsi, who sets his fastest lap of the race at 1:56.8, 2 seconds quicker than the race leader. 59.4 for Elzinga. He's losing touch. He's 7 seconds, almost 8 seconds down on Bonacorsi. Bonacorsi finds his way past. He will take the overall round win. So it won't just be his first podium. It'll be the top step as well in EMX250 for Bonacorsi, if he can find his way past Coonan, of course. 8.39 there of Victor Voxen-Clement, the KMP Honda rider. Absolutely nowhere to relax. And you have to be fully committed as well. Get out of those turns, on the gas, keep the front end light, let the back end do the work, not the front. 49, Mattia Dusi, the Ceres 71 rider. We saw we didn't see him, but he dropped out of the top 20 a few laps ago after a fall. Bonacorsi absolutely putting everything into this second race. The gap between him and Lucas Coonan, 3.1 at the last split, but what is it now as they work their way into the final turn? He's definitely got out of bed on the right side this weekend, hasn't he? 3.2 the gap, 2:06, 2:07. There is your race leader in white. So Lucas Coonan absolutely hanging it out. Get to the front, keep going, let them catch you up. Because the energy that you're putting into the race to try and pull clear, they're having to do equally, and maybe even harder, to close down that gap. Slows it down through that left. The gap's still hovering around about 3 seconds at the moment. Although Bonacorsi quicker through the first sector, 30.6, 29.7 for the Italian. And he can visibly see he's gaining on the Belgian. .302. Cornelius Tondel has got Guerda ahead of him in the fluorescent colours, the bright yellow colours. There's a back marker in there as well. If he finds his way past Guerda, then he will maintain the championship lead, because it's all square at the moment between Elzinga and Tondel. Only looks like it's a matter of time, doesn't it? For Tondel, 7.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Just knocking on the door. Banging on the door, more like. And again, the mistake that was made earlier is he goes to the inside, Tondel to the outside, protects the next left turn as well, picks off that position. A crucial one this time around then for the Fantic rider. Nothing in it between these two, though. 8/10 they hit the line. 2:01.2 and a 1:58.7 for the 93 and the 35, respectively. Sneaky little line at the end of the straight. Six and a half minutes remain. Lucas Coonan, who got second overall in Portugal, his first podium in EMX 250. Looking at taking another podium here. He's on the third step at the moment on 43 points. He will lose 3 of those, but he will stay ahead of Dave Koika. Really looks like he's enjoying his ride in. Bonacorsi cuts to the inside, almost side by side, and again he's going to use the same line around the outside with ease, just as Cornelius Tondel was doing. He got the drive around the outside, protected the inside in the following turn. Bonacorsi takes over the lead on lap 10. Race 1 yesterday was 15 laps, so there's still plenty of time to run in this, but he's just dancing around. Clearly loving the sand conditions here, Bonacorsi, but Koonin is not letting him off the hook. He does respond immediately. And Koonin, by 0.12 of a second as they hit the line, but by the time they get through turn one, Bonacorsi leading again. So 3 changes of the lead in the last 4 or 5 corners. Koonin wants the race win. Bonacorsi wants the overall win. Tondel is up to 4th. He's found his way past Volk. So another 2 points then going to be grabbed by Tondel. So Tondel now up into 4th place. Bonacorsi still can't afford to relax. Lucas Koonin, different line there, wants that momentum. Switches to the outside, then cuts back mid-turn. Both riders do the same. A real physical workout here. Every time you shut off, the front end just wants to get swallowed up by the sand, which is why you need to be on the gas. So therefore, working harder just to maintain a light front wheel. Then you've got all those holes that you haven't always worked. Pull in the front end, back end working overtime. Legs, thighs, lower back, calf muscles, shoulders, everything getting a full body workout. And when you're wrestling around a 100-odd kilo motorcycle in the process, gives you some idea what these riders are dealing with. But Bonacorsi 2 seconds to the good at the moment over Koonin. And confirmation there that if things stay as they are, he will take the overall with a 2nd and a 1st. Just goes to show how important that charge was in the latter stages of race 1, and that 2nd place where he moved past Koika on the final lap of race 1 yesterday for Bonacorsi. It'll be a 1-2 though for Huttermatal in the overall. Bonacorsi and Elzinga separated by 2 points. Elzinga still circulating in 3rd, quicker that time than Lucas Koonin. But here's Cornelius Tondel. He arrived here with the championship leaders red plate, 17 points clear of Elzinga. But after Elzinga was victorious in race 1 and Tondel came home in 7th, that gap was down to 6 points between Tondel and Elzinga after a poor start in race 2, and Elzinga up there in 3rd. The Dutchman took over the lead in the championship, but the Norwegian has dug in, rolled up his sleeves, gone to work. And he said, if you want the red plate, you're going to have to come and fight me for it. 4 points, the difference between them as it stands right now. Tondel continues to lead the championship. That's 1st and 2nd from our moon camp. It's going to be 3 laps to go then. Same duration as yesterday. Maybe a slight bobble out of that final turn, a nervous look across, and then want to know where everybody else is. We keep an eye on Elzinga, though, and his gaps, because he's chipping away at Lucas Koonin. He's only 6 seconds adrift now. But can he, in the next 3 laps, do something about the Belgian, yes or no? 2 minute point 7, Bonacorsi, 2:01.9, Koonin, 2 minute point 4. So there was some time pulled back by Elzinga that time around. But the Jumbo Husqvarna BT rider just there, disappearing behind the bushes now. Lucas Koonin has done all the work right at the beginning of the race. But again, when I spoke to Elzinga before the start of the race, it was riding tight, he said yesterday. Thinking about the championship. Well, was he relaxed in this race? I'm sure if you ask him again, he would probably say, no, not riding like he knows how he can or maybe even should ride in these conditions. But if you asked him going into pretty much the halfway stage of the championship, would you rather be 17 points down or 4 points down? He'd rather take the latter. Of course, he'd want to still be leading the championship, but that was something beyond his control in Maggiora a week ago. Sectors 30.7, 31.0, 30.6. Koenen Elzinga. He is still chipping away. Still chipping away. Is it going to be enough, though? As Bonacorsi takes the 2-lap board with a 2:01.157. Koenen, a 2:07, and then a 2:03. So not enough at the moment. 5.7 seconds a gap between second and third. Lucas Koenen is starting to eye up a race win, you know. He pops up over the Sardegna tabletop, and in this corner here, he's got Bonacorsi. We've got waved yellows for a rider down through that right-hander. But if Koenen can find his way back onto the rear wheel of Bonacorsi, it will give him 3 vital points, and it will change the top step of the podium. He'll stay third, but Elzinga will take the win. Bonacorsi will be shuffled back to second. Oh! No time for wrestling with the bank, Lucas. Watch this here. Just lost the front, wrestled with the bank, lost his balance. Heart in the mouth. Change your pants. Next lap, please. Do all the hard work and then throw it away with a lap and a bit to go. Somehow he's still in it, in that second place. So working their way towards the 1-lap board. Again, just slightly offline as he came into land there. Still thinks he can win it. And just by being there, applying the pressure, that does put Bonacorsi under the cosh. What's the gap this time around? Well, 14 laps complete, 2:02.1 and 2:01.0, 1.7. Jump and Fox hole shot line for your first two. Elzinga 4.8 further back. Big lap for the race leader, and the guy chasing him down in second, number 93, Lucas Koenen. He still believes. It is getting closer. Bonacorsi has to really dig deep now. Oh, nervous look over the shoulder from the Italian. Chasing his first race win in EMX250, chasing his first overall win as well. Back markers right there where he doesn't want. In fact, it's not his first race win, is it? He got a couple last year, first race of the year actually. First race win wise, because he got 2 back-to-back in Trentino last year, different rounds. But so far, he is still in control. And Lucas Koenen struggling with traffic. The final push, just asking too much of himself. Bonacorsi just needs to stay upright between now and the finish line. Easier said than done in these conditions. There's 2 corners to go. Andrea Bonacorsi, Hutton Metal, Yamaha. Oh! back markers, right where he didn't want them. He still hangs on though, takes the win, and that's a big win for him as well. Big panic rev, clutch in, takes his first race win this year, takes his first overall win as well. Andrea Bonacorsi with a second and a first will take the overall here in Sardinia. Rick Elzinga will be second overall with a win and a third, keeps his championship alive. Third overall will be Lucas Kuhnen. And Kuhnen, who arrived here sixth in the championship, will move to fifth. But third overall for the Belgian with a fourth and a second. Tondel crossed the line fourth ahead of Kaz Volk, which means he still leads the championship by 4 points. But for Bonacorsi, his first race win this year. To add to the two that he picked up last year. A good day at the office for the Italian and former 125 European champion. And from that perspective, his first win in EMX250 as well. Congratulations to Bonacorsi.
Andrea Bonacorsi, congratulations. First overall of the season, first race win of the season. You really needed this weekend.
Yes, but it's amazing. I started the season really bad after the big crash in Matali at the MX2. And now I fight so much. I really push a lot, working with my team. And now finally I get on the podium, and first overall in the EMX250. So I'm really happy, and now we keep on going.
Great job, Andrea. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a tough start for him. He was lining up Matthew Basin as a wild card MX2 rider, got hurt at the that first round. Just hampered his preparation then. He's been playing catch-up ever since. 12th overall, 14th overall. He was back on course last week. Just missed the podium in Maggiora in Italy, just slightly north of here. But today, a second and a first, a top step of the podium. Andrea Bonacorsi, your winner here in Sardinia. Give you confirmation of EMX250 race 2. Andrea Bonacorsi wins it by almost 2 seconds over Lucas Kuhnen. Rick Elzinga was third. Cornelius Tondel, good fight back for fourth. Kaz Volk fifth. Quentin Prunier sixth. Dave Koika and Mike Werder rounding out the top 8 with Camden McClellan and Jorgen Matthias Talviku fading to 10th. Max Spies was 11th ahead of Hakan Osterhagen, David Braceras, Marcel Konin. And then we had the 563 of Wesley Dudon, Federico Tawani, the 64 of Lorenzo Ciabatti, Paolo Lagana, Eddie Wade, and Eugenio Bobaglia. But Bonacorsi, a second and a first. His first race win of the year, his first overall, his first podium as well for the Italian here in Sardinia. Elzinga, his teammate, second. Kuhnen, third. Koika and Tondel round out the top 5. And for Tondel, the first time he's off the podium this season, having gone 2-3-1 at the opening 3 rounds. But Cornelius Tondel just wrestles the red plate back from Elzinga, who held it for a few laps through the midpoint of that race. 4 points separate the first two. Bonacorsi up to 5, well, gains 5 places. He's now up in the 4th place, tied with Lucas Kuhnen. Talvico and Vetic, the 2 Estonians, ran out the top 10. Manufacturers Championship, Yamaha just edge Fantic at the moment, first and second. KTM third, no change from there down. Husqvarna, Kawasaki and Gas. So podium time then here. Round 4 of the EMX250 European Championship. The MXGP of Sardinia here at Riola Sardo. Tough weekend, hot conditions, brutal racetrack, fast as well, given those tough conditions. But third overall, Lucas Kuhnen, his second visit to the podium for the Belgian. And the Jumbo Husqvarna BT Racing Team rider he will enjoy that. He looked pretty comfortable out there as well, both races. Second overall, Rick Elzinga, Hutton Mattal, Yamaha. Probably feels he could have done better, maybe if he was a little bit more relaxed, who knows. But Andrea Bonacorsi makes it a 1-2 for Hutton Mattal Yamaha Racing as he takes a second and a first, his first race win of the campaign, his first podium of the campaign as well. Moved from 9th up to 4th with that second and a first. Trophies being dished out then. Fulvio Guido Mallorca, the MC Motor School Riola president. Thankful to have all the support that we get from Sardinia, particularly in the Riola region here, as he gives the third place trophy to Lucas Kuhnen. Enrico Melis from FMI Sardinia, the president no less, handing the second place trophy to Andrea Bonacorsi. Giovanni Coppioli, the FMI president, hands the winner to the Italian, Andrea Bonacorsi. Henk Zenting taking the winner's trophy for the team over there at Hutton Mattal Yamaha Racing. But there is the small matter of the championship lead. It was 17 points at the start of the day. Tough weekend for Cornelius Tondel, Fantic Factory Team Maddie, but he does have a slight grip on the championship as we head to France, which is the next round in a few weeks' time. 156 to 152. Eddie Hurd, the FIM Europe Motocross Commission president, handing him another red plate. Wonder how much that means compared to the first one, Mr. Cornelius Tondel. Your top three here this weekend: Andrea Bonacorsi, Rick Elzinga, Lucas Kuhnen, and your red plate holder, Cornelius Tondel. Your top three here, the MXGP of Sardinia in the EMX250 category, round 4. Andrea Bonacorsi, Rick Elzinga, and Lucas Kuhnen. Been a tough day, tough race, but you know what? We will see these guys again in France in a few weeks' time. And we'll catch up with the top three in a moment, but before we do, here's the highlights from race 2 a few moments ago. EMX250 race 2 here at Riola Sardo. Mike Guerda, explosive out of the start like he was in race 1, but it was short-lived. Just behind him, we had Andrea Bonacorsi, Lucas Kuhnen. Dave Koika was in there, so too the 44 of Rick Elzinga. Jorgen Matthias Talvico as well, but Kuhnen sided his way down the inside of Guerda on the opening lap to take over the lead. And then Bonacorsi almost immediately found his way into second place. Kuhnen, though, got his head down and started to fall clear. Koika and Elzinga battled over 4th. Elzinga eventually got the better of his teammate. And then he went after Guerda, who made a slight mistake in the previous corner. Either way, Elzinga was through into 3rd place, and that's where he would stay. Dave Koika also made it around the outside for 4th. but Koike would eventually fade to 7th. Then Cornelius Tondel, the championship leader before the start of the weekend, who had lost it for a few laps to Elzinga, started putting on his charge. Guerra, one of the riders, he found his way past Kaz Volk as well. But in the latter stages of the race, things started to change. Bonacorsi got the better of Lucas Kuhnen, who responded immediately to take over the lead, but the other side of the jump, the Italian was back in front, and from there, he started to pull clear. Final corner, he got held up by a back marker, but Bonacorsi went on to take his first race win of the year, his first podium, his first round win. He did it by 1.8 seconds over Lucas Kuhnen and Elzinga. The podium here today, Bonacorsi on the top step from Elzinga and Kuhnen, a Huttermetall Yamaha 1-2 with the Jumbo Husqvarna BT rider third. Cornelius Tondel has a 4-point margin now over Rick Elzing and Dustin Hagen. Bonacorsi up to 4 with his victory here today in Sardinia. There were your top 3, and there is your championship leader, Cornelius Tondel from Fantic Factory Racing Maddie.
Andrea Bonacorsi, first overall of the season for you. Race 1, bad start, on a charge towards the end, which was crucial. Second race, brought home the race win. First overall of the season. You look like your old self out there.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, I first overall here, and finally got on my pace, let's say, and now we need to work to go more and more, let's say. But yeah, it was a really great race. First moto I started, yeah, it was not the best start, but then I knew the race was long because of the hot and big bump, so I went till the end, and then I started to push more, and I finished second, and this moto started quite good in the top 3, and then I put my way on first position, and then I keep it with my pace till the end, and I win the overall.
Great job, thanks Andrea. Second overall today, we have Rick Elzinga. Rick, you won the first race, although you did say you were riding tight, not really feeling comfortable. Second race, third, solid result, but how are you feeling out there?
Well, I think this race was much better than the first one. I could ride like I wanted to. I lacked a little bit of speed in the first couple of laps. And yeah, I think we can be happy, you know, team 1 and 2. And yeah, I'm satisfied with the points, and yeah, almost cancelled out my DNF last weekend, so can't complain. And yeah, big thanks to the people at home and Hutton and Yamaha. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Third overall today, we have Lucas Kuhnen. Lucas, 4th in a race 1. I know you were leading the way in race 2. You lost the lead, had a near miss, but you were on a charge. You really wanted that race win. You look really comfortable out there.
Yeah, first motor was a difficult start. I tried to cut off, but that didn't go as planned. But yeah, I was I think in 10th position with Andrea riding, passing him. I lost a lot of energy, and I was back in 3rd position. And then I made last lap big mistake, and I said I prefer to be 4th than to crash. But yeah, it's 4th. It's not so bad. And second motor, good start. And yeah, I was leading after first lap till 10 minutes, I think, and then I had a lot of, I lost all my energy, and yeah, I said I'm second. I tried at the end to pass him, but yeah, I couldn't do it. I made a mistake, so yeah, second is not so bad, but yeah, another podium, so positive.
Thanks, Lucas.
Knowing when to back off to take the points is a sign of a smart rider. Lucas Kuhnen showing that. He could have gone after Bonacorsi in race 1, he said, but had to settle for 4th because he was just getting tired. Same situation in race 2. He made that mistake and said, you know what, let's settle for 2nd. Gets him on the podium, and it was 3rd overall for the Jumbo Husqvarna BT rider. 2nd overall for Rick Elzinga, Huttermetall Yamaha. A win and a 3rd. Keeps his championship alive. He's now just 4 points behind the series leader. But his teammate, Andrea Bonacorsi, back to his normal self. A 2nd and a 1st, 2 solid races for the Italian. Takes his first race win, first podium. He moves up to 4th in the championship as well. Congratulations to Andrea Bonacorsi. A Huttermetall Yamaha 1-2, Jumbo Husqvarna BT Racing Team on the podium 3rd. That was the round of Sardinia. And we will be back in about 45 minutes' time. Top of the hour, 1 o'clock locally here for MX2 Race 1. Thanks for watching for now. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
I met you. I'll break 1,000 more, baby, before I'm through. I wanna be yours, baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad as a bone, bad as a bone. Fire. Woman beg, and I make a good woman steal. I make an old woman blush, and I make a young girl squeal. I wanna be yours, pretty baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey,